And this is the Shema song. You can listen or sing along. And it means love. I think it's love in the Hopi language. Since all those beautiful flowers are coming up and the birds are returning. Shema, 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 Shema. So seeing all those flowers popping up around the neighborhood and just decorating our community so nicely is so special. And, you know, I think a lot of us have broken hearts for a lot of different reasons. And so seeing those signs of spring come back just helps to bring more harmony into our lives. So namaskar, everyone who is out there today. And we're going to start the class with some, just some deep breathing and closing the eyes and coming within. So inhaling and breathing in. Breathing in a deep, slow breath. And breathing out a nice, slow breath. Listening to that inner breathing, the heart beating. I think it's Rumi that says the more you sit quietly, the more you can hear that that voice from within. Listening to that rhythm of the breath. And of course, the spiritual aspirant always strives to synchronize their individual rhythm with that, that greater cosmic rhythm. But we start with a long, slow breath. There's a famous song that, I think it's by Yogananda. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. So then we'll open the eyes and roll over our knees, coming into tabletop. From tabletop, we're uncurling the toes and coming up into a standing position. And I'm gonna turn my blanket to the side and turn my music on while everybody gets in the mountain pose. So in mountain pose, it's a opportunity for us to root in the earth, to remember that we belong to the earth, and at the same time growing and lengthening the body upwards, with that remembering that we also belong to the sky. So lengthening our spine and our body and our minds towards that clear blue sky. Trying to bring in that deep, long, slow breath. Being that mountain, embracing the spirit of the mountain. And with that feeling that, like the mountain, we are building a spiritual fortress. So then we'll inhale the arms up to the sky and then exhale, folding over. Nice long spine, nice long back as we come to the earth. Inhaling, coming back up. And this time as we come up, we're going to come up on the toes just a scooch. Scooch is just this much. And then this time as we exhale the hands down, we're actually going to bend the knees and squat as we come down, resting our chest on the knees. Inhaling, rising up. And as the arms go up, we're going to come up on the toes, just a scooch. Exhaling down. Coming into a squat, bending the knees, touching the earth, massaging the earth while we are here. Inhaling the wings up. One more time, coming up on the toes, stretching all those muscles on the bottom, on the sole of the foot, and exhaling down in the feet, down in the arms, and once again, coming down to the earth. Inhaling back up, and as we come up, we'll take our arms to the left for Padahast. Kind of lengthening the body on a diagonal line. Inhaling to the center. And then inhaling and exhaling to the side. Pressing that opposite leg down into the earth. Inhaling to the center. Then we're going to exhale and swan dive down. If you don't have socks on, you can wrap those fingers around the big toe and squeeze that toe. Sits on the same meridian as the brain. Inhaling the wings to the side, and rising up. Exhaling through our roots once again. Inhaling up to the sky, pulling that chin and neck in. Gentle back bend. Just a little will do. And then exhaling to the center. And here's where we whirl the arms around and come all the way down. Let those arms fly. And bring us back up and down to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out, and then we'll send this Namaskar Mudra up. That mudra of perfect balance, perfect peace. We strive to bring more harmony in our lives. And look down at the earth, making that visual connection with the earth and all living things. Inhaling back to center. And then we'll exhale to the other side. Looking down at the earth gives the neck a little bit of a sweet twist. Breathing in and out, and then we'll breathe into center. Exhaling down, coming to the toes, squeezing those toes up. Inhaling those wings up. Exhaling. Inhaling into a gentle back bend. Coming back into our center. And then we'll whirl those arms around and down. Letting the hands fly. Bringing them back up. And coming down to the heart. So we'll do that one more time. Inhaling the arms up. Floating to the left. Pressing those feet into the earth, looking down at the earth. Inhaling to the center and exhaling to the other side. Again, maintaining that diagonal form. Inhaling back up to center. We'll come up into a gentle back bend and then glide all the way down. Inhaling and floating up. Coming into a gentle back bend again, especially if we did a lot of gardening yesterday. And then coming into the center, whirling those arms around and down. Coming back up and into Namaskar Mountain. So then we'll make our legs in stance wide, because we're going to bring those arms down and we're going to do the flying twist. So on the flying twist, we rotate to one foot and then the other. So we're gently gliding from side to side. And as we do this, we'll lift up that heel behind us and maybe twist on the ball of the foot. Twisting and turning from side to side. So sometimes that generates a feeling of smiling or being joyful. So bringing the hands up to waist height. And letting our worries fly. Because we're in yoga class and we only think about peace and harmony here. So flying like the birds. Not too fast, and then bringing the arms up to shoulder length, shoulder level, bending those elbows as we come from side to side. If you're inspired to fly or to smile, just let it loose, and then the arms come above the head. Spreading that joy and harmony. Sometimes we're surrounded by difficulties. How can we be the eye of the hurricane and maintain that more cosmic stance of joy, of harmony, even in the face of difficult times? Then bringing the arms down to shoulder level. So I used to have a employee at the school, and she was such a loving soul. She was always smiling and coming down lower with the arms and joyful, even when she was having, oh gosh, difficult times. So that then bringing the arms all the way down. Even 10 years later, when I think of her name, I smile. So that's what we want to be, moving forward into the world with positive energy and with a smile. And upgrading the energy of the world. Slowing down. Slowing down that rotation and coming into your mountain again. Your fortress pose, that pose of strength. Shining that heart. So then we're going to leave the feet a little bit wide. And once again, we're going to actually lunge from side to side. So as you slowly lunge from side to side, one leg will straighten and the other will bend. As we're here lunging, hopefully you can't hear my knee popping every time we do this. Talking to me. And then as we do this, we're going to also pick a weed. So bending down, picking up a weed, dropping it in the basket in the middle. Coming to the other side, picking a weed, dropping it in the basket. So we're going to pick weeds. Slowly going from side to side. Picking those weeds, and then we're going to move from doing an earth-based activity to a sky-based activity. So we're picking stars. And this is from a song that came out of last week's class. Picking the star and putting it in your pocket. So you're filling yourself up with that celestial light. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. So that's what we're doing. We weeded the earth and then we picked a star. So I think our pockets are almost full. So one more star and then we'll come back with the hands on the waist and we'll bring the toes in, the hips, the toes and the hips. Until the feet are side by side, maybe hip width apart. Dropping the arms by our side and taking 2 or 3 long, deep, slow breaths. And then we'll invite that inhale breath and bring the arms up over the head, bending down into the knees for lightning pose. Looking down at the earth below. Coming into that pose of spreading light. Lightning always catches people's attention. And then exhaling the arms down, keeping the knees bent. And we come into the chair. Broadening the chest here, bringing the shoulders behind. Feeling that shift in the hips, that shift in the back, pulling in the abdominals. Breathing in and breathing out as we're holding that chair pose, but not the breath. And then we'll exhale the chest down on top of the legs, so the legs are still bent. Arms are going behind us for ski jump. Honoring those inner resources. Connecting with earth and connecting with the sky. Inhaling and coming up. And as we come up into extended mountain, we'll come down into lightning pose. So in lightning pose, we're on a little bit of a incline with the upper torso. It's a little diagonal. Breathing in, nice, slow, and deep breaths. Connecting with the breath. Listening to that inner rhythm. Pulling in again those abdominals and that tailbone. And then we're going to move down into chair. So in chair, we roll those shoulders back. Hold on to that squat. I know Rumi says when you quiet your mind more, you can hear that inner voice. I hear my legs screaming right now. And then we're going to exhale down, sweeping those arms behind us, getting ready to jump out of that ski chute once again. Exhaling, bringing those arms up and bringing the hands to the heart. So we'll bring the feet apart again. Trying to see how wide apart we can make those legs this time. And then when we have them a good distance apart, we're going to exhale forward, sliding the hands down the legs, holding on to your ankles, and bringing the hands to the center. So you can come to the center with both hands open, with your teepee fingers, or with your fists. So in this pose, we're trying to bend the lower back a little bit, put some energy in there. Trying to coax the hips into releasing some of the energy that gets stored in those hip muscles. Nice long back. Then we're going to walk the hands to a foot, doesn't matter which one. Breathing in a deep, slow breath. And we come to the side. Feeling the stretch in those that inner thigh. Then we're going to walk the hands over, all the way over to the other foot. Listening to the earth. And once again, walking to the center. And just hanging. Hanging out. On your next inhale breath, placing the hands on the legs and exhaling and bringing them up. Coming upright and toe heeling those legs together. And coming into a warrior one pose. So with the warrior one, we have one lead foot here. And then we have the back foot on a diagonal. Both hips are facing forward. Building that foundation, making it steady and strong. Inhaling and coming up. Inhaling the arms to the side. Exhaling the hands together. And getting that fill up from the sky. So front leg is straight. Back leg is straight. And we're filling up our hearts and souls with that blue sky. And then exhaling forward, coming down so that we're horizontal to the floor. And that front leg will be straight. Pulling that chin in. So from the tailbone out to the back, out through the head is one straight line. Inhaling, pushing up with the foot. Coming upright. Feeling those hands pull the shoulders back. Lengthening the body. And coming back into a gentle back bend. As we open up the heart. So we're receiving all that is positive from the sky. Rising up to meet the sky. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and pulling those shoulders back gently and exhaling forward. So here we come into our horizontal shelf again. Being horizontal to the earth. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling, rising with the body up, stabilizing the body, and then we'll inhale and come up into a gentle back bend again. So this is one of the things that's nice to do when you're gardening. I wouldn't do the flying twist to my front yard. Filling up all those holes in the heart, and then exhaling up and folding and lengthening. Bringing the chest all the way down to the leg, releasing the hands so that they come into the mat. So we have a tripod with the foot and the two hands, and then we're going to come onto that tripod, lift the back leg. Just like the flowers that are lifting up their heads right now. Rising up from the earth, and then we're going to bring that leg right next to its partner. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling to the heart. So let's take a moment to connect to our breath once again. Connecting to the breath and to that inner essence that is always waiting for us. And then we'll come into pyramid pose on this side. So sending the other leg to the back, sending the lead leg of the other side to the front. Making sure that your foundation is sustainable. Inhaling the arms open. Bringing them behind the back and interlacing those fingers. Opening the heart. Bringing the shoulders back a little bit into that posterior plane. Inhaling and coming up into a gentle back bend. Kind of draining all that toxicity, draining all that negativity out of the mind, out of the heart. And coming forward and down. Trying to bend forward parallel to the earth. Pulling that chin in. Pressing those feet into the earth. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then once again, we're going to press those feet into the earth. We're going to come all the way up. Exhale through the feet. Inhale into that gentle back bend. It's just like we're filling up with blue sky. So how can we fill up our heart, fill up our mind, so that we're ready for a new day and whatever it might bring. And then exhaling to the fortress position and going over. So we're coming into countertop or tabletop, like table mesa. being that mesa. Pulling the chin in. Feeling that length in the neck. Inhaling all the way up. Coming into mountain pose first. Inhaling and coming into gentle back bend. And filling up with that blue sky again. And allowing it to push out those unresolved worries and just fill us with that expanse, that sweet expanse. And then once again, coming up into mountain pose and exhaling down. Coming down into mesa. Thinking of that little cat that was running around on Coors Field yesterday. The Coors Field cat. Poor thing, it probably had a long time of peace and harmony in that field, and then we came back. So then we're releasing the hands and bringing the hands a little bit above the foot in one of the 3 hand positions, and then we're going to raise that back leg. Breathing in and breathing out. As we're strengthening our base leg. And then bringing that foot to rest right next to its neighbor. And then inhaling the arms up all the way overhead. And down in front of the body, crossing the arms, over the head, crossing, down below, crossing. So this time let's cross them a different way. Come down here and cross them differently. And we're going to bring the arms in a circle around the body. Coming out to the sides. And then the other way. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Spreading that circle of hope. That circle of positivity. And then with the hands above the body, bringing those hands together and back to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Softening our being. So then we're going to come back to the wall or doorway or wherever you do your balance poses. I'm going to come to this wall, and as I stand in front of the wall with my back towards the wall, my back is a little bit away from the wall, because we're going to go into eagle pose, which the eagle pose today is dedicated to the mating eagles, the breeding eagles in Stanley Lake. We're going to slide down the wall and walk the feet a little bit away from the wall. So first start this pose with something that's doable, so don't go out too far. And while we're here with the back into the wall, the back of the head into the wall, still lengthening, still pulling in those abdominal muscles. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. And put that right arm up because it's going to go around the other arm. So in eagle pose, the backs of the hands can be together. You can weave some fingers sometimes around the palm, just whatever position is doable for your hands today. And think like an eagle. Breathing in, breathing out. Hopefully your pose is not too extreme, and then we'll unfold the arms, unfold the legs, stepping the feet back, opening the arms over the head, crossing again, exhaling, coming back down, crossing, being like the eagle. Saw an eagle flying the other day and it was soaring. So we're embodying that soaring free spirit of the eagle. And then we'll walk a little bit or kick the feet forward. Kind of de-stress the feet and the legs. And then we'll come into our eagle position once again, near the wall, and walking the feet just a little bit away from the wall. Hopefully you have a mat here, because otherwise you may slide. And then we'll cross the other foot over, sticking out that same arm and crossing it over the other arm. Lifting these arms up, just a scooch, and then back down. And remembering the soaring eagle. So even though this pose is challenging, we're going to remember the sweetness of the eagle. And then come back up, unfurl the arms and legs. And again, cross the hands above, cross the hands below. Being that soaring eagle, embodying that spirit of the eagle. Flying free, flying in harmony. And then we're going to embrace the eagle pose once again. Well, probably twice actually. Coming close to the wall, pulling in those bandhas around the waist, the abdominal area, pulling in the tailbone, pulling in the throat. And then walking out. Maybe not going down too far. Crossing the leg, bringing that arm up in the air, and also crossing the arms. Breathing in, breathing out. And can you smile? So we're going to be smiling eagles today. That looks a little bit like grimacing. Maybe we need to laugh a little. And then we'll take this back up, unfurl the legs, unfurl the arms, and we're going to fly like the eagle for a minute. Switching around which arm is in front, which arm is behind. And then we're going to walk the feet out and kick those feet and legs Coming back to our original position before the wall. And once again, walk down. Not too far. This pose is hard enough. So being the eagle. Find your best position and then cross your leg over. Put that same arm up, and here we go with the twisty arms. Breathing in, breathing out. Remembering that love is everywhere. That the universe was created in love, and it's still there. Then scooting up with the legs, pushing the back up, unfurling the legs and arms, and let's soar again. Imagining that you're in that clear blue sky, soaring over those mountain peaks. I was somewhere a week ago and got to see an eagle soaring for a long time. And it was wonderful. Bringing the arms up one more time and down. Oh, contact with the lamp. And bringing the hands to the heart for a minute. Closing the eyes. Listening to the breath. So as we take a few steps forward, we're going to just twist from side to side, allowing the arms to do their thing as we twist all the joints in the body, the ankles, knees, hips, waist, arms, elbows, and even the neck. Just swaying from side to side. And then we'll come down to the floor, so we'll bring the arms up and bringing them down. Bringing one knee down and then the other knee down. Crossing the feet and coming into a comfortable position on the floor, on your bed, on a chair. Bringing the soles of the feet together wherever you are and coming into turtle. Rolling the back, doming the back. Always looking for that better balance in life. It's a lot of daily maintenance to maintain that balance these days. So how can we be patient with those unresolved concerns in the heart? It's almost like we need to take those concerns, those unresolved concerns in our heart, and it's almost, I'm going native spring here, making it into an egg and just putting it into a nest and just sitting on it for a while. Just being patient, like all those birds are when they're just sitting on their eggs and waiting for them to incubate and nesting. So with some of those concerns, they require patience and nesting. And then there's other concerns that call you into action, call you to say something, to respond in some way. So recognizing those two callings. Being patient with your inner turtle. So then we'll come up into a seated position. We're going to do something with the fingers. And so we're going to take those fingers and twinkle them. And we're going to start way over here on one side, and we're going to go all the way down the keyboard and come all the way back and twinkle those fingers all the way down, and then twinkle them all the way back, just like Liberace. And then we're going to pound the fingers like Beethoven. Such a dramatic guy. Pound the fingers. So we're kind of flapping those wrists a little bit. And then while we're here, we're also going to twist the wrists in opposite directions. And then slow them down. And then twist them in the same direction. And in the other direction. And then we're going to raise the arms over the head and twist toward the side, opposite hand on opposite knee. The leftover arm is planted in the earth behind us. And we're looking over that shoulder for that bluebird that we always carry in our hearts. Looking at the back shoulder. Then we're going to gently move the head, inhaling, looking over the front shoulder. Exhaling, going over the back shoulder. Inhaling, coming to the front shoulder. Exhaling, turning the head towards the back. And then we're going to lift those wings up, coming to the center, and then around to the other side. Opposite hand on opposite knee. Other hand is planted in the earth. Looking over to that back shoulder. Then inhaling towards the front shoulder. Exhaling to the back shoulder. Inhaling to the front. Going back one more time. Lifting those arms up. And then lifting them down. So maybe walking the hands away from the body a little bit. Feeling that nice long stretch from the fingers to the tailbone. Listening to the rhythm of the breath. Walking the hands in towards the body. And up over the head. So then we're going to take one arm and bend it down. So it's bending behind the head. And that hand with all the fingers spread like starfish. It's coming down right on the spine. Right on the spine. And then the other hand comes on top of that elbow. So we're not pressing down, we're just holding that bent elbow up. We're trying to straighten our head and be as erect as we possibly can. Again, like the daffodils, like crocus, like the tulips that are coming. Breathing into this pose and thinking of those flowers that are coming. And the beauty that just fills our heart every time we see one of those dear ones. So how can we be that flower for others? How can we be that smiling presence of joy and balance? So then we're going to lift the arms up towards the sky, and then we're going to bend the other elbow down and try to press that hand right below the neck, right below the neck. And then the other arm is going to come down on that elbow. So I think we can feel that stretch. But instead of going, ah, my God, we can fill our minds with the beauty of the flowers. One of the ones that always gets my heartstrings each time is those miniature daffodils. Oh, there's never one, there's always a bunch. And they just fill your heart. So then we'll bring both arms up to the sky. Then the hands will come down on the elbows while we make elbow circles. Trying to bring those elbows as close to each other in the front. Stretching those shoulder girdles. And then this time as we come to the front, we're going to take them to the back. Feeling that full rotation of the shoulders as much as you can. Going around one more time, and then we're going to bring those elbows to the front, open the flower, bring the hands down, hands back up to the shoulders, and then open them, take them to the back a little bit, and then bring them together to the front. Open those hands, bringing them all the way forward, dropping those fingertips down. So we're stretching the wrist here. And then bringing those hands into the shoulders and opening one more time. And one more time, making the flower, bringing the elbows close. Unfolding the hands, dropping the fingertips down. And then bringing the hands together over the heart. And closing the eyes and breathing just for a moment. So from this pose, we're going to move into Cobra. So that means coming down to our tummies. So changing positions. Coming down into the mat. Bringing the hands down, bringing the forehead down. Being the navel to Mother Earth. And inhaling, chest up. Coming onto the forearms or the hands. Looking straight ahead. And escalatoring down, coming down slowly, slowly. Bringing the head all the way down to the earth. Taking a full cycle of breath. Taking a moment to remember that inner one, that infinite that resides within our hearts. And once again, rising up, inhaling up. So yoga can sometimes help us to be less attached to things. It can be an attitudinal change, and of course it's that attachment that to outcomes that causes so much frustration. So then we'll come down, elbows close to the body, coming slowly down. Bringing the nose into the mat. So then we're going to bring the hands closer to our waist. And with the hands and knees, we're going to push the body up into tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to come into the slide or into the plank. Pulling the abdominal muscles in, being that straight line. Weight-bearing pose for the hands. So we want to spread the fingers so the weight is distributed among the fingers. Pulling that tummy in, and then dropping the knees and lowering the body. So then we'll get into position to do 2 more cobras. Moving your hands where they will serve you well. Fingers spread in starfish. And then inhale and coming up. Either on the forearm or on the hands. Sometimes it's nice to come onto the hands even if it's for a short period, just to build those muscles in the arms. And then escalatoring down. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then once again, we're going to rise up. Bringing the body up, opening that chest. Exhaling and slowly coming down. Coming down to the ground one more time. And then we're going to come up into plank one more time. So move the hands a little bit towards the waist. And then with those knees and hands, we're going to rise up into tabletop. Setting our hands shoulder width apart, the feet hip width apart, and then we're going to lift those knees again. Distributing the weight to the fingers a little bit. Pulling those abs in. Breathing. And then exhaling the knees down and coming all the way down. So as we come down to the ground, we're going to come into the side pose. So we're coming into the ground on our side. The hand is supporting the head. And that bottom leg is bent a little bit. So that's our foundation. So the hand on top can be right here on the earth. Just to steady that rising of that top leg. Bringing it up a little bit. And then taking it down. Bending the knee. Straightening the legs, so warming up that thigh muscle a little bit. And we're going to tick it back up. And coming up a little bit higher this time. Feeling the stretching through the hips on both sides. And then ticking it down slowly. And then bringing it up one more time. As we bring it up this time, we can hold it up. Breathing as we hold it up. And then once again, taking it down. But this time, as we tick it down, we're actually going to bend this knee and bring it in front. So you may want to hold that knee or hold that leg. Because what we're going to do now is raise the bottom leg, which is behind us. So here we go. Inhaling, bringing that leg up, squaring that foot. So it comes up a little bit. And then bringing it down. So you can hold the knee or hold the ankle. Bringing that leg up again, inhaling it up. Squaring that foot, making it right. And then exhaling it down. And then we'll do that one more time. Inhaling that base leg up. And we can flex the foot. Forwards, backwards, making little circles. One direction, circles. In the other direction, and then bringing it down. So we're working up to this. So now we're going to bring this hand in front of us and bring both legs up. And then exhaling them down. Bringing them both up. Breathing can be helpful. Exhaling those legs down. And then we'll bring them up one more time. And bringing them down. So then we'll switch sides. So we're pushing the body up, going around to the other side. So coming down on the side, and we're going to start with the single leg lifts. So this bottom leg is bent. And bringing that leg up a little. Holding it there. And then exhaling it down. Then bending that knee maybe a couple of times just to warm up this hip. Send that leg up again. And maybe it'll go up a little bit higher. Holding it there on the sky and then lowering it down, taking it down. And then once again, we'll breathe it up and maybe you'll hold it up. Getting that stretch in that inner thigh. Stretching that right foot into the sky. And then we'll lower that leg. And remember, this is where we bend that knee and we bring it over in front if you can. Then we're going to straighten out that base leg. So you can decide if you want to hold this on the knee, if you want to hold this on the ankle, or find a good position that suits you, because we're going to lift that bottom leg. So inhaling it up, holding it there for a few breaths. And then exhaling it down. Here we go again, inhaling it up. And exhaling it down. And doing one more. Bringing it up. Might have a little jiggling there as we get into those muscles, and then bring it down. Then we're going to send both legs down there, and we're going to try to lift them both. So make sure you have that hand here in front, and we'll lift both those legs and hold them for about 3 seconds, and then bring them down. And then we're going to do it again. Bringing them up, holding it for 3 seconds. Coming down. And one more time. And bringing them down. So then we'll roll on to our back. So finding a comfortable position on your mat. And just taking a moment to breathe in and to breathe out. And just kind of puddle yourself into the mat. And first we're going to raise one leg up to the sky. And then lower it straight down. Then we're going to raise the other leg so that it comes up to the sky. And down. And of course, we're going to raise both legs up. And hold them there. Maybe do circles with the ankles in each direction. And then bring them down. And stacking both hands below the tailbone. We're going to bend one knee and raise the straight leg up just to 30 or 40 degrees. And hold it there for 8 seconds or so. And then we'll bring that leg down, and then we're going to do the same thing with the other leg. So the other leg is now straight on the floor, and we're going to raise it like just 30 or 40 degrees and have it rest there. And down to the floor. Then we're going to straighten both legs and bring them both up 30 or 40 degrees. And then we're going to start bicycling. So when you bicycle, one leg is straight, the other leg is bent, coming close to your chest, and then we'll switch legs. And switch. So it's a slow switch. It's very low. It's 30 or 40 degrees above the floor. So it works the abdominals a little bit. Switching. And then we're going to start bicycling up to the sky. Coming up to the sky, bringing both knees into the chest, sliding them away from the chest, away from the body, and down on the mat again. So we're going to try that one more time. Lifting both legs, and then we're going to bicycle them. So one straight, one is bent, and then we switch. Please tell me you're breathing. Straightening the leg. And then we're going to bicycle up to the sky. And eventually plant both feet in the sky. Bringing them down to the knees down to the chest, and out to the floor. So then we'll bring our hands out from under our body now that we've ironed them out adequately, and turn to the side, bringing our hands to the floor, coming back up because I want to squeeze a pigeon in. So coming up into tabletop, and once we're into tabletop, sneaking that right knee up in between the hands, scooching the back leg back, finding that full pigeon first coming up, and then exhaling down. So walking the hands away from the body. The thigh can be up in the air, down on the ground. So we'll just explore how our hips are doing today. Remembering that we want to always make choices in life based on hope, based on the well-being of all. Not on fear. So how can we keep on that sunny side of the street? Breathing into that hip where that traffic jam is. Letting the breath massage those muscles, massage the tightness that is there. Imagine that those muscles are loosening. So using your imagination to help the muscles do what maybe they cannot do. See it, visualize it. Exploring all those layers of muscling that is residing in the hips. And then we'll walk the hands back towards the front knee and line up the fingertips with the knee. Come up into full pigeon. So we're expanding the chest. We're setting our sails. Breathing a couple of times and then coming back into tabletop. And maybe wiggling a little bit from side to side with those hips. And then we're going to bring that other knee up in front between the two starfish hands. Coming up into full pigeon first, with the chest expanded, with a smile on your face. And then coming down with the hands walking away from the body, coming into the pigeon again. Breathing into the hip. Visualizing and feeling balance there. You know, telling your hip, I wish you comfort and joy. Sending crocuses and daffodils into our hip. Embracing that hip in our minds with tenderness. Just like we would maybe a wounded bird, a wounded animal. We wish it wellness. Breathing into all those layers of the hip. It's just like an onion. There's so much going on down there. Exploring that. And then walking the hands back towards the knee. And filling our sails once again. Imagining that we're one of those sailboats cruising across Dillon Lake. Coming up on the knee, coming back into tabletop, and then we'll go down into deep relaxation, Shavasana. Finding a comfortable place on the floor. And merging with the earth. Seeing the one in the many, and the many in the one. Coming into that quiet inner space where that subterranean river of the divine resides. Taking a moment to remember that even when things don't go smoothly, even when things are painful, that somehow, somewhere, the hand of the divine rests there. Babanam Kevalam. Namaskar, may you enjoy the blessings and beauty of the day. Thank you for coming.